Hi, so today's tutorial will be on scale playing. So the first thing I want to talk about when talking about scale playing is the function of the thumb. So the thumb ties everything together. It allows you to play legato, a string of notes together. So if we look at our thumb, obviously it's very different from the rest of our fingers. It comes inward this way, allows us to grasp. So if you look at where it's actually attached, most people think of the thumb attached to the hand right here, but in reality it's probably, I would think about it attached down here. The thumb moves this way from the wrist, and your other fingers move to this knuckle. It has three pieces just like your other fingers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So the first exercise I want you to do on the fall board is practice walking the hand this way, really feeling the function of the thumb as opposed to the rest of the hand this way. Okay, so let's take C major. We're going to group the scale around our thumb. So we're going to take it a group of 3 and a group of 4. Group of 3, 4, all the way up, all the way down. Okay, so then once you've got that, groups of 3s and groups of 4s, I want you to do that same walking mechanism. Thumb, fingers. Help you with your thumb crosses automatically. It's going to help you differentiate the function of the thumb with the function of the fingers. Okay? So then we just got to link them up. So if you notice, allow space for that thumb to come through this way and back down as well. The other thing you have to consider is the rest of the fingers. What we don't want to happen is spokes on a wheel. So this kind of playing. We want to be able to have independent action and independent preparation for each finger. So if you could just think of finger tapping, like finger tapping on a desk, something like that, so that we get more of this kind of action. A great example of this that doesn't involve any thumb crosses is in Grieg's March of the Dwarves, where he has this passage. Now, some people play it this way, right? Just rolling the hand, and that doesn't sound as clear. We want every note, kind of like a string of pearls. We have each pearl that stands by itself, but you string them all together. So even in fast playing, we need to have every note needs its own separate attack. So when you combine those, you have your thumb, and then you have these. Okay? Now the left hand, I'll mention this briefly, the left hand is going to be a mirror image. So when you start the scale, the groupings are going to go, again, towards the thumb. So you would start with group of 4, or 5, right? Or you have your group of 3, actually right here, group of 4. Exact opposite, right? Okay, and this is true of all scales. You have groups of 3, group of 4. So let's take E flat. So even though you don't start on your thumb, you start in the middle of the hand here. Actually, you can think about it coming from this group of 3. Alright? So E flat, group of 4, group of 3, group of 4, group of 3. Alright, if I was to do hand walking this way. Alright? So you can do the same thing with the left hand. So the next thing to consider when playing scales is that the physical groupings function independently of the metrical groupings. So for example, if I needed to play the scale in triplets, for example, right, that obviously those aren't going to line up with my physical groupings. But the tendency to play scales is that the thumb is going to play. So often I hear this. we want to organize to the meter. It's going to sound much more musical. So one way to practice that would be to stop. See, there it does work with the grouping, but here we're off. Alright, so just be aware that the beat actually occurs there, right before the cross. At the end of the cross, right? So those are some very important things to consider when playing scales. If you liked this, please like the YouTube video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I would be happy to respond. And happy practicing.